I always regulate the day I joined the NRM. I always regulate the day I joined the NRM, and at times I wake up and shed tears. Because no. What have I got there? Apart from after serving you with dedication and commitment. No, when my mother was almost lynched by the mob of producing a kid who supported Museveni, how was I compensated? Mwenda enters with a fake tape. You got there. Me to be an advisor in this with 1 million. They thought that I was a simple man. New Vision. No, I cannot go to New Vision. Right? I can give Mirundi a job. Can't give it to your man. Do you know? Akatabani Kakajij. I can work in media center. Me, I can work in New Vision. Me, to work in New Vision in Sweden. Never. A manager. They want to put Kaka in a prison. This woman, Mbayo, was minister in charge of the president. He is supposed to be handling reports from other DCs. You want to put her in a prison. Kaka, you want to put him in a prison. So, what happened? What type of a system that rewards you? What type of God Museveni is? With the dedication and commitment, you are paid the way you are paying. No, sina gundi, sina commitment in NRM. Segirinya is only has fallen into trouble because of Kabampani. The real culprit is this young man, Alan, because. And I have now, when you read my book, I will tell you why Parliament has ganged up to stop, to ensure that these people are not, they use political. Why? One of the non-government organizations from Europe that were funding activities of the opposition was behind this and other matters. And many MPs accessed this money. And individuals. Akakasajja kabukedde kankuba nga kampita bujingu ne kakuba buli muntu yenna ne kamunoona ne ngende waffe nenkasabira kulubya kuluna ayinza obutawona komera kati asula wa Balamu. Balamu is a key factor. When you read my book, I will tell you how Balamu has become a very key factor in Uganda. Is that they have a fattening period. When they are fattening you, you see newspapers talking about Kitata. They are now fattening you. You will see newspapers talking about Balamu. They are fattening Balamu. Because for them, they are intelligent. They don't appear on the crime scene. And you will never be arrested. When you see Mbayo, now Mbayo is a target. But Mbayo lost his son, the only kid she had. Do you think that in Mbayo, who is behind government printers? What Mbayo has nothing. Mbayo, Kaka are in the same boat. They know when to throw you, to sacrifice you. They create a jirikiti and a daddy dog. Okubba ne badduka n'obusuma bwabwe nga bubawunya mu nyuma in the battle badduka nabwo obusuma. These people, they use you. The fattening period is very interesting. I compare the mafia's fattening period to a woman who is conceiving. A woman who is conceiving does not even detect that she is conceiving. She does not even remember those who die during delivery. No, this is too much. A woman who is conceiving does not remember even her neighbor who died during delivery.
But in that process,
this is how mafias do. Why is it that Fahad building, mapera
bemanyi baba malala
yazuula bino mu bisanja bisatu yazuula bino
nti awo okutewafu
ate wajjako wano mulanga abatasaaga zino channel zolaba ez'abadokita n'abamu abalangirako obulango batya.
All right, a very good afternoon all our viewers all over the globe. Mwebale nnyo mwebale kuweereza eggwanga ate mwebale kwekumira ku mpewo. The Flashlight Channel Uganda okusigala nga tubaweereza. Twebaza Omukama nti nno mutabani wa Yokaana akyali mulamu akyatambula. Bakuwa obutwa n'obusurviving
5 times.
Ne bakuteekateeka.
Even hired thugs. Even yesterday, my driver received a security alert that I was supposed to be assassinated. But I told him, before I leave home, I consult my ancestors.
Hey, but judge over consulting.
Don't you know that when former American President Ronald Reagan survived the bullet by assassinee, Nancy Reagan hired the services of a magician to determine the activities of her husband. Nti Reagan bwe yawona amasasi mukazi we Nancy Reagan yaleeta omusamize mu State House nga Reagan gyagenda bamala keberamu. So my driver received a security alert. Fortunately, my vehicle is under surveillance by the satellite. I have heavy security. And God.
Oyogedde bulungi. Katonda abadde mweyo ensonga ng'oli batera okugamba. Kakati kuliko assassination.
No, they alerted my driver and he was panicking. I have a morning program at 6 a.m. He was panicking. And in fact, he was suggesting that we drop it. But I said, I have security at home. I did not even inform them. He said, let us go. We shall reach.
By God's grace.
What you people don't know, somebody can intimidate you. The only accurate agency is CIA. When CIA gives you a travel ban, that in such an area, a bomb, they are expected terrorist activities, it will be there. Why? The CIA and the Mossad and the M16 infiltrated all of these organizations. But NRM is fighting itself. In fact, when anybody who will read my book, Vomits of a Spy, is very embarrassing. Rwanda is highly exaggerated in our affairs. There is no foreign hand. What is being done is discordant elements in our security organizations that create insecurity to get money for operation. You see, Museveni, they know that Museveni operates like a blood. It goes where it is needed. Yes.
That's how you operate.
Museveni
operates like a blood.
Even the NRM Secretariat does not operate permanently. Because a revolutionary organization, you see, we have day-to-day political parties. We have revolutionary parties like NRM, like a Chama cha Mapinduzi. What do they do? Like the Chinese party. It is like a war. When you have an election, come campaign, after the election you go back and demobilize. That's why NRM does not have branches. They wanted to establish branches throughout Uganda. Even the Ruwero one was closed for non-payment of rent. Why? Because of its nature, an NRM supporter or activist, NRM has even telephone callers, an organization of telephone callers who are given money. What is their impact? They spend a lot of resources. So, kakati NRM si kibiina kya byabufuzi. NRM kibiina kya nkyukakyuka, but which is managed badly. Tibwe mujja mu lutalo olw'eruweero. Bwe bamala okulwana olutalo lw'eruweero, abaali baagala amagye baavaamu, baalemeramu. Why? Is the Second World War. The Kawana Wars, who did not want to remain in the army, went back, were demobilized. and were given a lot of money. Within 6 months, their toys were composed of jiggers, and Baganda started composing songs. Museveni agudde n'amagatoke. Kakati ate bano bookero abaava mu northern Uganda remained in the army. My father was in the signal department. He was working in the post office. That's why I also own MISO, Mirundi Internal Security Organization. Yes. Kakati nkugamba, TNRM ekizibu kyayo is not a day-to-day political party. It demobilizes after elections. Kakati ate bano Besigye baani bo bakola ku daily basis. Tuyina gwe tuyita ishing opponent. An ishing opponent is a Raila Odinga cannot allow you to sleep. Raila Odinga after the election he started campaigning for the next election in 5 years. Yes. Kakati wano olwokuba tebalina sente tebalina resources kyobula nti ono mukoddomi wa president yatandise early election. Even this morning I was watching him on my machines addressing now about 500 people from all districts of Uganda, and they told him that the biggest challenge you have is Tamale Mirundi. Yes, let him get hands off my money that the president gave me. Let us drive in different lanes. I cannot support you. I cannot support him. No. He chased me from State House that I had abused his mother-in-law. In politics, if I'm not going to be part of your future plans, I tell you in advance. I cannot support this man. But because I'm a Democrat, let those who want him support him. If he becomes the president of Uganda, I will be rid of opposition.
And Rabogo?
Tusinza kola naye nti babalowooza oba tuvudde ku ki kyembadde nkunyonyola nenkugamba ti organization y'NRM yo si ya day to day bwe bamala okukola ne bakola ki kakati kyenadde nkunyonyola ti security ya Uganda insecurity teyina foreign hand. Insecurity ya Uganda tubaita rogue officers.
Rogue officers?
Yes.
These
are security people in the security organizations. In fact, Kaka gave me a lot of information. When you read my book, I will tell you, when you read which is already printed. It's already printed. Even if you kill me. It's already. Once I tell you that I'm writing, it is over. When anybody who read my book will know the killers of the women. We are not ordinary criminals. No. If you read my book, you will know why Segirinya and this man is in trouble. And according to the evidence available, which I have gathered, Segirinya is only has fallen into trouble because of Kabampani. The real culprit is this young man. Alan, because, and I have now, when you read my book, I will tell you why Parliament has ganged up to stop, to ensure that these people are not, they use political. Why? One of the non-government organizations from Europe that were funding activities of the opposition was behind this and other matters. And many MPs access this money. And individuals. Akakasajja kabukedde kankuba nga kampita bujingu ne kakuba buli muntu yenna ne kamwonoona ne ngende waffe nenkasabira kulubya kuluna ayinza obutawona komera kati asula wa Balamu. Balamu is a key factor. When you read my book, I will tell you how Balamu has become a very key factor in Uganda. I'm telling you. Balamu is a very powerful person in this politics. He is comparable to Moi's brother, Makatu. Makatu used to create trouble for Moi and get him money and solve them. This is why the Kenyans nicknamed him Dr. Dow. But the evidence, you read my book, vomits of a spy. When you ask these people, they will tell you that one of the people who were arrested, allegedly arrested, the boy came to me. He also gave me testimonies. This is the man who was working closely with this Sewanyana. So when the government insists he's aware, yes, he's aware, the MPs, women, you see, for me, I'm a lucky man. When it comes to money, I know how to make my money. And I live a humble life. And my wife, I don't get pressure from my family members. They appreciate. When I tell them I don't have money, I don't have money. Yes. And I have a future. I'm working for a future. I have a journey. I may suffer setbacks. You can lose battles, but you cannot lose a war. So I know where I'm going. Now, this is what I'm telling you. That the insecurity that has locked Uganda is not foreign sponsored. This is intended to blackmail Museveni to give them money. And according to the information available to me, and when I read through Kaka's reports, the files Kaka gave me, because the strategy is always this, they have what they call preemptive arrests. They use you to commit these things, the fattening period. When you read my book, How Mafias Control the State, I tell you the phase why they target you. The one is that they have a fattening period. When they are fattening you, you see newspapers talking about Kitata. They are now fattening you. You will see newspapers talking about Baram. They are fattening
Baram.
Because for them, they are intelligent. They don't appear on the crime scene. And you'll never be arrested. When you see Mbayo, now Mbayo is a target. But Mbayo lost his son, the only kid he had. Do you think that Mbayo, who is behind government printers? What Mbayo has nothing. Mbayo, Kaka are in the same boat. They know when to throw you, to sacrifice you. They create a jirikiti and a daddy dog. Okubba ne badduka n'obusuma bwabwe nga bubawunya mu nyuma in the battle badduka nabwo obusuma. These people, they use you. The fattening period is very interesting. I compare the mafia's fattening period to a woman who is conceiving. A woman who is conceiving does not even detect that she is conceiving. She does not even remember those who die during delivery. No, this is too much. A woman who is conceiving does not remember even her neighbor who died during delivery.
But in that process,
this is how mafias do. That they fatten people, and after fattening them, they drop them. There is no way Mbayo could get access to money. Government printers, I have a story about government printers. Let us ask this Minister of Local Government, out of his own, because somebody sold this idea to him, LC 1s and 2s must get official stamps. Why? Who had rejected an agreement because of a stamp? Nabba. Akabuto kamulingo bwe katikalingo akumulamba ne bamuwana n'agaba sente oyo Magezi kuba yalete. He's hiding now. Magezi has disappeared like a gonorrhea because he paid a lot of money in the government printers, but the stamps are not available. And I say stupid side office. We are investigating. Investigating what? If a woman follows pregnant, do you investigate in Nika?
You can't.
Yes. For Abaganda to fumbira mu box and to jiteka kumva. Do you see a box a bemva? Can money disappear on a phone?
How?
I say stupid man. The issue is simple. How much money did this man Magezi give to government printers? What's a what? How many stamps did this man expect to get? from the money he paid? And how many LCs, LC1s and LCs do we have in Uganda? So this is simple. You don't need to investigate. You cannot investigate a nika when a woman follows pregnant. You cannot accuse an underwear or another part of bringing you gonorrhea. No.
Chagwa.
Yeah. Enough of Baganda to in a proverb. An umbilical code. Gonorrhea is very fair. It cannot catch the umbilical code. Kakati nkubuza negamba. Nkubuza. In this case, where is the need for investigations? You don't need to investigate. Why? Mr. Magezi, you came out to scratch your head. You operated on instructions from thieves that in order to get money with your customer, as if you were drinking marwa, you thought these people captured you. Magezi, Nakabutoki. A man who could not even win. Magezi is embarrassed, the president. How can a man who championed the amendment of the 70th Cup become a pariah in his own constituency? Never no mulonda. It means what you peddled was wrong. Kati ababi nebakwata magezi. Bwebakwata magezi naleta stamp. Kati stamp tazina ne sente ze yawayo. Kati na yawedde. Fattening period. Abati tava mu mawulire magezi Minister of Local Government magezi. Kati you are the opposite. The moment you fail to deliver those stamps, and these are not magazines. These are serious. Why? Yes. Because for me, I'm a highly intelligent man. I can say that if we give each of these intended local councils 2 stamps, that means that we shall be supplying them every 2 years. You've got a business where you can get billions every year. That's 1. 2, you can even say that by the time we gave government printers this deal, the ratio at which the Ugandan shilling was compared to $1 was this. And therefore, these people, by the time they bought the materials to produce these stamps, they cannot. It is how can you fail to deliver stamps to LCs? How can you fail to deliver Museveni's bicycles? Where are Museveni's yellow bicycles? Where are Museveni's yellow bicycles? Where are they? You see a government in power, everybody wants to identify with it. You had hero bicycles. Museveni's yellow bicycles, where are they? Nakajola kayupisi katuka kuchalo. Nakakumbi kayupisi katuka kuchalo. All items of UPC, because the issue is presence. Let me tell you. Do you look at the Chinese? Before these thieves, the Chinese thieves, the current thieves in Uganda, the first Chinese were not the thieves. Look at their strategy. They thought that let us look at the entrance points of Uganda. They look at Entebbe to Kampala. There was no space. They looked at Jinja to Kampala. When you are coming from Kenya, what do you see? You start with the rice, Chibimba, rice scheme. Then you know the Chinese presence. When you come to Mandela National Stand, then you know the Chinese presence, but they cheated us. All of the land that we given to them was not utilized. They are cheaters. The old communist party was a true communist party. These one are thieves. They are capitalists. Most government, Nambole is sitting on the 2 square mile land. Government by Jirimba by China. Then you get the ice plant. What I'm telling you is advertisement. When Fahad, the late King Fahad of Saudi Arabia, visited Uganda in 1975, The then Cardinal Nsubuga urged, appealed to all schools, Catholic schools along the Entebbe Kampala Road to come up in large numbers to welcome the visitor, Fahad. With their rosaries, Fahad moved in an open car with Amin from Entebbe to Kampala. But everywhere he went through Chisubi, where the Catholic schools were waving at him with the rosaries. Fahad asked Amin, is it an Islamic country? Are those blood?
No.
Hey! This is why the Catholic Church recognized, canonized the matters. This is why Namirembe Shrine, Namugongo, was constructed. These must remain Songo monuments because the Vatican knew that Amin was going to take a power and he would turn the country into an Islamic state. So in order to safeguard this, we had a cardinal. Namugongo was recognized in 1969. The Pope visited here in 1969. Benich Wanukaporoset wrote to the Pope, don't come. This is at the climax of, but this is when Mutesa died in exile. And to make matters worse, they designed the clothes that he bore Obote and the Pope's
Flag.
Pictures. When the Pope Paulo the sixth,
The Benedict.
the one who came in 1969, landed on Entebbe airport. He kissed the Ugandan soil to stress and emphasize that blood, Christian blood, was shed here.
As I said.
The same thing was done by Obote when he came from Tanzania and landed in Bushenyi. He kissed the soil and declared, we have come with one air ticket. We shall die here. That was Obote, but he fled. So what am I explaining? That where a Museveni is, everywhere you move throughout to Kampala, at one time I urged that when I see these government officials, the senior ones, masquerading, I'm using the word deliberately, masquerading as Balokole. Many of these people masquerade as the Balokole, they are not Balokole in conduct. How can a Mulokole like MCC say that those Balokole preachers on the streets should be banned? Do you know what it means? It means that anybody who visits Uganda and sees these people on the street must understand this is a religious country. Why do you see? These people never did propaganda. Why is it that Fahad building, Mapera house, and the church house on the same street? Tebategeera. Nobalaba abalokole ate bagoba abalokole abali ku street abalokole ate bali wicked nnyo. What I saw in the state house, even if I wanted to, I would convert it to Mulokole. I cannot. I did not say Mulokole. Many people came close. No. Kakati kyambadde nnyonnyolo kitegeera. Nkugambye nti one, insecurity is a result, is the source of insecurity, is security forces. Why? They know that in order for Museveni to release money, they must create havoc. When you read my book, Vomits of a Spy.
Vomits of a Spy?
Yes. Kaka tells you that even the killers of women, the younger girls, yes, we're not simple criminals. They even took photos, that one I know. They are still around. They even targeted my wife. Kaka has files on the prominent murders. This is why Kaka says they have preemptive arrests. They want to put him inside. So that the power, they say, Kaka, yes, that's my strategy. The time I was complaining about Kaka, it was a government policy. And Kaka was exonerated. Why? Kaka was given it a diplomatic job. Yes, it is only Kaka who declared this. So therefore, at that time, because we are not talking about a new government, this is still Museveni's government. We are not talking about a new government, which means whatever Kaka did at that time and he never received the disciplinary measures was part of government strategy. Two, what I told you is that where Museveni's yellow bicycles, he launched them. Where are they? Baziba. Nezasoka Baziba. Which party? Which type of party do we have? Which ruling party is this? Where the same civils in the government are the same civils that are stealing everywhere. Nze nakuba bino nentekako n'obukofiira president n'abagamba nti omusajja ombi biri wange bitudde ng'ono omulenzi Lwabwogo went and got his money thinking that he will use me as an excess tester in his pants. Me, to work on your committee, a madman, you describe him, but I have over 20,000 of this is a rose. I have over 20,000 coffee in my house. I have, the president wrote to me to reprint my books. I have them. I lost almost $1 billion. Do you know how bitter I am? Do these people not know how bitter I am? Where I lose my money for you? Nino genda mufuka amirire kati ayagala kwesimbawo nina okakkereza aje atuma omuntu wange mu benyondo omutwe
obiganye.
Anybody who comes to my home must come with money. If you don't come with compensation money, I kill you, I shoot you. Kuba bajozi nodi omusajja nganza abakoledde sente zino zaaliwo. President n'abaga nti omusajja oyo mulaba yabyama Lwabwogo mbajja kunfuga toliyufuga ko ku nsimu kabuli ne muggulu bwe ndisanga Lwabwogo muggulu I storm out I don't know it's not heaven. Lwabwogo cannot go to heaven.
Hey, ochaliko bomusanga ko musanga muggulu Lwabwogo
when I meet Lwabwogo when I die earlier.
Yes,
and Lwabwogo comes to heaven I will storm out in the politics because of this.
Ojakala kasiza muggulu.
Lwabwogo told his mother-in-law
kati singa munno akusokayo
namuvumye
nati kati mbadde nteesa singa osoka okufa
family yange ebonyebonye
abana bange babonye
tubonyebonye nyaba bonyebonye Lwabwogo nti oga this morning they were saying Mirundi was yes compensate me okutte sente zange ngenda bakubira akatambi
wewaddeyo bavuluga
sisobola muwagira. When Lwabwogo enters heaven, I will storm out of heaven. Kuba munyabonyeza. He started it. He wanted to get njagala compensation. You see, for us Baganda, the Baganda we have okutegula, we have okusonyiwagana. Why? They're quite different. Okusowagana. Okusowagana means a man and a woman, a friend and a friend. You have simple issues. That's okusowagana come then is compensated by okusonyiwa. Then omutego and okutegula. Omutego means I lost. I've lost 8 years. I always regulate the day I joined the NRM. I always regulate the day I joined the NRM, and at times I wake up and shed tears. Because no. What have I got there? Apart from after serving you with dedication and commitment, when my mother was almost lynched by the mob for reducing a kid who supported himself, how was I compensated? Mwenda enters with a fake tape. You got there. Me to be an advisor in this with 1 million. They saw to that I was a simple man. New vision. No, I cannot go to New Vision. Right. I can give Mirundi a job. Can't give it to your man. Do you know? I can work in media center. Me, I can work in New Vision. Me, to work in New Vision is very important. Never. A manager. buli agenda amuwerekeranga gwe bawerekera omwana mu toilet. I reached a certain level. Nakula mangu, but I regret why I joined NRM. I regret it. Mfunye much. My political career. If I had remained in the opposition. And that's why they are saying, they are doing, if everybody who has served you with the dedication and commitment is paid the one who paid. Because look, Kaka, they want to put Kaka in a prison. This woman, Mbayo, was minister in charge of the president. He is supposed to be handling reports from other DCs. You want to put her in a prison. Kaka, you want to put him in a prison. So, what happened? What type of a system that rewards you? What type of God Museveni is? Okumuwereza with the dedication and commitment. You are paid the way you are paying. No, sina gundi, sina commitment na NRM. Nigeria Museveni. Na ye, the way I was, President alagidde bagula obutabu bwange n'agaana lwabwogo. Alagira atya n'azigana. Kati President yalagidde bampe ssente zange. Lwabwogo n'agamba Principal Private Secretary. Bw'ozimuwa nkugoba.
Kati wenjagala okubuuliza.
Ngende ewa lwabwogo. Bwe nalaba ayiso lwabwogo. Lwabwogo is a Getman. I've never been a Getman. He holds a master's degree. I have a master's degree. If the question is marrying the daughter of the president, I would also marry the daughter of the next president.
Mirundi.
Yes.
If it is the qualification.
Yes. Banjoge. Kano kwentu yepusi ne kali echatte.
Mirundi chembuza ko.
Basa abantu the number one is mugondi oga kano kajiji kali indicted. Kajiji's son is indicted.
Mirundi chembuza. Oba Museveni
emyaka 8.
Mirundi tulize. Oba Museveni asobodo okulagira bakusasule sente.
Nagana mbunyina.
Kati ani afuga olwo. Olwo ani afuga.
Nedda alowooza mbunja gende yewe mwigayiriri.
Chaliko.
Mutu tukole deal. No. After 8 years, without my family has suffered, tukera mukolimira buli lunaku. We cast him and I perform rituals every day.
Bakizibagane.
Yes. Kubanga temuyinza kummanyabonya bwe muti. Ndingenda mu New Vision. What were your offers? To go to New Vision.
Okoleyo ki?
Mbwira nfuge banteke mu lugosi. Mfuko lugosi lwabo.
Number 3.
Why don't you give me my budget? Me, I cannot work under a formal structure in this country.
Joining the opposition, okola party hiyo.
Opposition na hiyo yabwe. This is now to telling you why this government, why these people are arrogant. There is no way, if we had an organized opposition, there was no way Wabogo could start another campaign. Because this would prove, but they seem, you know, government tasobola kuwangula even 10%. Wabogo cannot win 10%.
So 0.what?
What he is doing is going to break up with the government. People are going to run away. But if Museveni
do they think that we don't understand?
Everybody is bold. If everybody is bold, we would have more prostitutes than nannies.
Yeah?
Yes. If money was a factor, we would be having more prostitutes than nannies.
But nannies are very many.
Very many.
Than prostitutes. 2.
I asked somebody, how come that this man, Obasanjo, who is richer than Museveni, failed to get a third term and Museveni amended the constitution? Is the population, the history. 2, if all of us who have worked in the State House closely with you, we curse. Then when I stand up in a rally and I start talking about you, people will listen. And you cannot kill me.
Absolutely.
Any mulokole, if these people are really balokole, they would say, this is also a son of a woman. I'm also a product of a sexual act between my father and my mother. I was not about to. They would
You are
say,
a product of a sexual act between your mother and your father.
Yes,
And now Mirundi is
I'm not
existence.
a doll, I'm not a furniture. These people would sit up and say, really, this man worked for us. Katumuwesi, Nayena Zazilemesa, Nesentazilemesa, Urusambunarulemesa, Nasikalamba Banja, Burikantuka Nkona, Binone Nyambala Biawere, Obukofira Nyambala Biawere. Then,
Yambala kazi ya ready.
Let me tell you, if a nanny was sacrifice, sex, children, and grandchildren, and the woman of a husband, he goes to heaven and is chased away by St. Peter at the gate. How do you expect the nun to conduct herself?
It's hard.
Tujogedwa, tuniredwa ku mutwe, batujoze, batukanyuze kasasiro, batukubye mawulire batuononye. Then if you humiliate everybody, who has delivered the committed service to you, you will use mercenaries, like the Balamus.
Okay.
The non-entities will take a charge.
Tugenda kuvaawo naye explanation ogirese bulungi ekyo kiraze nti our security system ya Uganda mfu lwabwogo gwe kasita omuntu omutandikako
No.
lwabwogo yomulemesa kati.
And even this morning he was addressing the people and they mentioned my name. May I not support Lwabogo? My concern, Ntiandeke. Let us drive in different lanes. Let Lwabogo recognize me as a co-wife or a co. I will never support, even if it means supporting a Jerican, I will support a Jerican.
Nenga si Lwabogo. Yakola chejo million olusambu olaba billion wazesonyiwa.
Yagamba Nazalawe, mother-in-law.
Mama Janet.
Namuvumye. Museveni wanted to arbitrate Nebangoba State House. Nebangoberera. How many times have I survived the poison? 5 times. I have recordings where they had hired thugs to kill me. I have suffered and my family. Every day we cast, we perform rituals against these people. Nebampa sente zange noziremera. Nebakuwa ziri egundi munzija mu kakiiko. Program zange zero oyo mutabani wa kajiji. I can predict it. Tumwebaze will spend, if he is not lucky, Tumwebaze will spend most of his life in European jail or in the forest, the Congo forest, roasting a monkey muchobo.
Yeah? Botobo gambi. Kakati n'olw'ensonga eyo tuyanze genenga mu program omukama mwebaza wabonye bano abadde bakuplaningira aba assassination abo.
Ekyo kyaddeyire, they take intimidation. Why do you see, have you ever seen a snake making a rehearsal? When a snake is race, these people talk about things is going to be assassinated to divert me. You kill me and see. Every maggot will be paid for by a human being. Yes.
Every maggot
if you kill me, every maggot which comes out of my corpse will be paid, compensated by a human being in your family.
Olwekika ky'abantu
obujoga buli muntu. Let us look at balokole. Let us reason like balokole. Ask what did this wrong thing this man did to us. Many people asking nabakolachi. Noganja mu banyabanye byaka. Story ndabako. I don't expect to see these people physically. We can only meet in a mass grave, a prison cell, on a flight which I cannot forward go, and at a road block. Tumwebas, mwenda, nabo, siri balabako.
Kali, tugenda kuvaawo kakati waliwo government yojo wakolerera. You're regretting why you joined it.
I regulate. At times I wake up and shed tears.
Bambi.
This is not what I expected.
Chibinyo.
I did not expect these people to treat me the way they treated me.
Mwena bali kumpo the flashlight nga tugezako kwebuuza embeera eri mu ggwanga etiisa ate tukanga. Ffe abaana abakyali abato gye tudda naffe tumanyi. Constitution ziri amended every day. Kakati mwagana okukwata n'ene nnyingo eya court bail. Ebintu ebyo byaliwo byonna okuva edda. What could be the interest of the government trying to amend everything?
You see, the problem in Africa is that the judiciary and the state, the 3 pillars of the state, don't coordinate.
The first pillar is executive, the second pillar?
Yes, because in Africa, people believe that to be independent, you have to be independent of the. That's why our constitution undermined the presidency, because they showed that the presidency was the problem. In many countries, these are local people. The judges are local people. They were born here. Look at the Kenyan judges who can nullify a general election, like Malaga. Malaga looked at the composition of Uhuru government. Yes. Why? Although Kenya is composed of tribal kingpins, or you can win a majority between the Kalenjins and the Kikuyus because of their numbers. But this does not reflect the government. So when you saw, when Malaga, a Kenyan, saw that these people, the government they are making, yes, it has the support of the people, it created a contradiction. Have elections in 90 days, which was impossible. The fortunate thing was that Uhuru had the money. But if it was done in Uganda, we wouldn't have done it. Where is the money? The civils. Kakati, omulamuzi oyo yategeera is a Kenyan. Nti Malawi, abalamuzi basazaamu okulonda kwa president. Why? To create peace and harmony. How long are we going? We've known, we are Ugandans. Tear gas agenda kulookinga eggwanga lyonna. What do? We are Kenya, we are about okulya sente, but short-lived. Kakati wano, olwokubanga judiciary, ne parliament, ne executive, they don't have this issue. The communists, bo bachina, n'abazungu bachina. I gave you an example that at one time, the Russians demanded the cash during the winter, severe winter, from European countries to supply them with the gas. Some countries are collapsing. They didn't have the money. Britain started looking for oil in Libya. This is why this man, who was facing treasonable charges over Lockerbie, was transferred from London to Scotland, where the terrorist law is soft. And Gaddafi agreed to compensate. They were looking, all of the newspapers in Britain claimed that the man was suffering from terminal cancer, which was a lie. They wanted to rehabilitate Gaddafi to access gas. So, in Uganda, if you are a judge who is born in Uganda, who has parents in Uganda, and you hear people being killed with the pangas, what would a Ugandan judge do? I told you that in Britain, when a bomb exploded in the Birmingham Palace and failed to get the real planters of that bomb, they arrested innocent Irish. The 6 people arraigned before court and were sentenced to life imprisonment. They were saved when the police officer who investigated the case retired and wrote a book, the Birmingham 6. But the judiciary and the police, how can we allow somebody to go to court that we have admitted we don't know the killers of women, like you are doing here, that we have admitted the police that would say no story would be left unturned, and we get the killers of our senior colleagues? No, Basam. If the police cannot investigate the real killers of your senior policemen, officers, how can I trust the police? That's why I resort to witchcraft.
Yeah?
Yes.
Not the Musas.
Irifutatu yabatta. I believe in it more than the police. Kakati changu nyenye doki tegede.
Njawudake mabega wakatono.
Nkunyenye nkamba. Nti ebijambia bano bonna abatta abantu abalamuzi tebali batadde. Because even if they are not the ones, but at least the public will feel, whoever is taken for murder, okujja konga bayinde bamuta. abakaweesa bonna
babatadde
bano bakamoga instead of oyo chief justice ye yali akulira omusango gw'abakamoga yali gundi nti what did he do? The Kamogas were not charged with murder. Although Muslim clerics had been killed, they were charged with terrorism. Terrorism is, in spite of, you see, terrorism is like a coffin. It scares, but it's innocent. You can sleep in a coffin until morning. The judiciary, the court, headed by the current Chief Justice, decided to try the Kamogas on treason, not, and you know, the prosecutor died Kagezi.
nerwaki bino bibaawo nga kuliko n'embeera
anti kyenkubuulira
Museveni oba bamuwabula bubi
nedda baagala ssente
lwaki tabatta bonna
these people want money nti a man like me
bulijjo aliriddawo kubiraba
if I was working in a UPC government the UPCs would have recognized me batwala mwenda nina okugendayo nina okuwagira ono nakuba nabona ajja kuba nabona akomewa ajja tukalera am I slave with this head a brain head like me nti oyo lwabwoga asobola okunjoga
yalemeddwa dda
tasobola tujja kubagana mapambano why he killed my political career and has frustrated all efforts to compensate me. I don't want to be president. I'm not interested in it. Let them compensate me and I go home and do my thing.
But they compensate you, go back and
me. They don't want to compensate me because
if not, then
Atya Mirundi is a nuclear bomb.
Party.
No.
Get your own party then.
No. I know. Nobody can force me to something. I'm an intelligent man. You see, when you suffer, when a woman suffers a violent marriage, do you think can easily enter into another marriage? Having been humiliated by NRM, you think I can just jump into somebody, another party's bed? Yes. Kubanga I'm suffering from trauma. Nti abasajja bano mama wange nga bali bamuwe kyalo akuwagira Museveni. Is it how they would have paid me? Bwe batyo bwe bansasula nti nina okujjamba kalira embeere munda weyazabwe ng'olugosi nina kubeera lugosi lwabwe. Is it how you pay somebody who has committed and dedicated nti bino byonna ssente zange zaafa obutabona nga lwabwoga butudde kumbu waliwo olunaku lwe I'm playing sick and hide with Mirundi. Am I a village girl? I will never talk to Lwabwoga in my life.
Abalwazi investments bakuleetedde gaggawala ne Kaitunsi project anti gwata ina ttaka obasasula milioni 2.5 ne bakufunira eka y'ettaka liize emyaka 7 ne mukola endagaano mu mannya go ne nannyini ttaka olwo ne bakusimbirako ate emiti ne bagira biri okumala omwaka mulamba emyaka 3 egisooka n'ofuna milioni 10.15 n'emyaka emirala 3 milioni 10.15 liizi yegenda okugwako emyaka 7 ng'ofunye milioni 2.3 gwayina ettaka wonna w'oliina otusasula milioni 1.2 ne tukusimbira emiti ne tugira biri okumala omwaka mulamba.